The story kicks off with Heather, a girl from Texas, sitting alone in a room while outside a wedding is about to begin. From there, we jump back 8 months earlier, when Heather and her friends, Amy and Connie, head off on a fun trip through Europe. On one of the train rides to Barcelona, Heather meets a handsome young guy named Jack. Their conversation is bold and playful, with Jack constantly teasing her and challenging her. When the train pulls into the city, they go their separate ways. That same day, the three girls spend their time sightseeing, and later that night, end up at a local bar that Victor, a guy Amy met on the train, had recommended. Amy's excited to meet him again. Out of nowhere, Jack shows up at the bar too, and it's clear he's interested in Heather. The two slip away from the noise and get some real one-on-one time, while their friends are busy having fun. Meanwhile, Amy spends a wild night with Victor, and Connie hits it off with Jack's best friend, Rafe. Not long after, Jack shows his adventurous side. He convinces Heather to sneak into a cable car with him, where they spend the night. That's where they share their very first kiss. The next morning, the three girls meet back up, only to find out Amy's new fling robbed her. Furious, Amy turns to Jack and Rafe for help. The group tracks Victor down, and when they finally confront him, he panics and runs off. Luckily, they recover Amy's stuff and even stumble on a wad of cash. With their new treasure, they rent a convertible and hit the road on a new adventure. They end up in a dreamy, paradise-like spot. The girls are thrilled, and their circle of friends now fully includes Jack and Rafe. But in the middle of all the fun, part of Jack's secret comes out, something about his health that only Rafe knew about until then. The next day, Amy decides to make a huge change in her life. No more reckless partying, no more excess, and a new focus on self-awareness. Connie continues her spark with Rafe, while Heather starts planning her return home. She's supposed to move to New York soon for a new banking job. That same day, Jack gets frustrated watching people glued to their phones posting about their travels instead of actually living them. Heather doesn't totally agree, but later Jack apologizes and passionately convinces her to cancel her flight back home and join him on a trip mapped out from his grandfather's old travel notes. Heather agrees, but when she calls her dad, she just says she's staying a little longer, without mentioning she's traveling with a stranger. With nothing to lose, Heather and Jack set off on their new adventure together. That night, they stay with a local family who welcomes Jack with open arms. There, their relationship deepens. It's not just physical anymore. They have real, meaningful conversations, mostly sparked by Jack. It creates a genuine bond between them. Jack, clearly excited, feels like he's finally found someone to share the best moments of his life with. That night, they make love for the first time. The next day, they join the famous San Fermin festival in Pamplona, Spain. But in all the chaos of the celebration, Jack dislocates his shoulder. They rush to a clinic, and after some tests, he's patched up. Despite the injury, Jack's still buzzing with energy and love, eager to keep traveling and exploring Europe with Heather. A little while later, they head to Ortuno. And one evening, while following his grandfather's old travel itinerary, Heather gets a chance to catch up with her friends. Heather finally opens up to her friends. She's in love, and nothing makes her happier than the thought of going home with Jack. But Jack doesn't really show any sign of thinking about the future, especially after getting a worrying call from the hospital in Pamplona telling him he needs to come back for his test results. When they leave the clinic, his mood completely shifts. And when Heather brings up the idea of talking about their future together, it only makes things worse. Heather, being the practical type, needs to know where things are headed so she can fit this relationship into her life plans. Jack, though, hates that conversation. He shuts down any mention of the future, even though just hours before he told her he was in love with her. The tension builds, and after a fight, they spend the afternoon apart while still traveling through Rome. That night back at the hotel, Jack reassures her he's decided to come with her to New York. They start getting ready for the trip. But right before boarding the plane, the truth starts to come out. Jack is still in touch with his doctors, and it becomes clear he's battling cancer. At the very last moment, he lies to Heather, saying he needs to use the bathroom. Instead, he uses it as an excuse to disappear. That's his twisted way of saying goodbye, a goodbye that turns into the most painful one Heather will ever experience. Traveling to New York with her was never really an option for him. All she gets is one short text message. "I'm so sorry." No explanations, just silence. Weeks later, Heather reconnects with her friends, and they look back on everything that happened. But inside, she feels like a part of her heart was left behind in Europe. Months go by, and she's living without joy, without her usual spark. Eventually, during the holiday season, Heather heads back home to Texas to see her dad and family. It's there she realizes she has to keep moving forward. She also gains a new perspective. She doesn't need to control and plan every detail of her life. That's something she owes to Jack and the short but unforgettable time they had together. One night, she gets the news that Connie is marrying Rafe in the spring. The wedding will take place in Barcelona, the very city where everything began. On the big day, Heather celebrates her friend's happiness with all her heart, but she can't help herself and she asks Rafe about Jack. Without saying much, Rafe simply hands her a letter from him. As Heather reads Jack's heartfelt words, she learns the truth. He'd already been sick, and during those magical 2 weeks together, he'd found out his cancer had returned. In the letter, filled with raw emotion, Jack mentions he might be in a remote little village called Santa Pau. Without hesitation, Heather decides to go. She says goodbye to her friends, packs light, and sets off. When she arrives, she finds a lively village in the middle of its traditional festival. And there, guided by nothing but her heart, she sees Jack again. In that moment, Heather makes a choice. She'll let go of her rigid, carefully planned life and stay with him, no matter how much time he has left. Because Jack has decided to live in the moment, to embrace whatever is left of life without thinking about the future. And Heather chooses to be right there with him.
In the shadows, I forgot where I belong. Walking endless roads I carried on alone. In my silence, I pretended not